Welcome to the What's Already podcast. We fashion ourselves cinematic judge and jury. My name is JJ Crowder. I'm here with my co-host, Alec Burgess.
Let's get it.
We appreciate you tuning in. Go ahead and hit that follow, subscribe, like, bell notification buttons. Tell a friend about us. Tell a family member about us. Again, I don't tell anybody related to this movie. I'm out.
No, thank you. I'm good.
We're very disconnected with you telling people that are related to a certain movie here in Thriller Week month because I just don't want anything to do with that shit. But yeah, we're before we get too far though, let's talk about our sponsor, partner. I don't know. Dubby. Did you get yours yet?
No.
Oh, that sucks. It did take a while to get the partner one. But yeah, no, it was it's good. I've been drinking it. I think I'm about halfway through a tub.
All right.
So yeah, I really like it. But yeah, go check them out. They do energy drink powders. They do cups, they do t-shirts, all that fun stuff. But it's relatively inexpensive when you compare it to a $2, even when they're on sale, like $2.50 energy drink in a can where you get one go of it. You know what I mean? This is one little tiny scoop in your water in a 16-ounce water and some really good energy. And I'm pretty prone to the shaky shit, and this doesn't do it for me.
I like that it's with water as well.
Yeah.
Compare it with water instead of having to drink a Red Bull or
yeah. And it's all, I don't know if I'm not going to say it's all natural. I don't know any of that shit, but I do know that it's made from coffee bean extract. I mean, I'm a coffee drinker anyway, so what the fuck? But this tastes much better.
There you go.
Tastes like a rainbow sherbet or an orange dream popsicle. It's quite lovely.
It's so great that you have rainbow sherbet and orange dream popsicle, because looking at you as a person, those are not the flavors that come to mind. JJ's got the big beard, kind of this Viking-esque Scottish ancestry, and orange dreamsicle.
That's right, dude. Listen, I have the palate of a 6-year-old. I know it. And I'm okay with it. But yeah, I really like these. So you can get it 10% off if you go to w.gg and you put in your order. You enter the code at checkout, our verdict, all one word, and that'll get you 10% off at their website. And we do get a commission. It helps support the podcast, so we appreciate that. But yeah, go check them out. Really cool stuff. They're always getting new flavors, doing deals. So yeah, hop in there, do what you got to do. We appreciate it. But let's get back to our regular programming and talk about this week's movie. We're week 3 of March, and we are talking about Old. And it was released July 23rd, 2021. It was written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan. It starred Gail Garcia Bernal, Vicky Creeps, Rufus Sewell, Alex Wolff, Thomasin McKenzie, Abby Lee, Nikki Amuka Bird, Ken Leung, Aaron Pierre, Eliza Scanlon, Embeth Davids, Eamon Elliott, Alexa Swinton. There's a few more, but they're like little ones. But let me make sure I get Nolan River and Luca Faustina Rodriguez in there. So it's about a vacationing family who discover that the secluded beach where they're relaxing for few hours is somehow causing them to age rapidly, reducing their entire lives into a single day. That's a pretty good synopsis. Sometimes we get some really shitty ones, but that one's pretty good. All right, my friend, you picked this sumbitch.
I did pick this sumbitch.
Tell me why.
So this movie has some history because I actually saw this in theaters way back when I was just a fan of the podcast, because I thought this was going to be on the list of your July month movies. And so I was like, cool, we'll go see it. It wasn't on your list of July month movies.
You can blame Javier for that. That was Javier's choice. I tried.
So I was shocked when I got the release or whatever. I was like, oh, that's weird, because I fully expected this to be there.
Yeah.
And I know we talked last week about M. Night either hits or misses, and we said there's nothing in the middle. This to me is a little bit in the middle. Like, this is the one that's it's just a little weird for me, but I love the twist.
Yeah.
Terrifying concept, but it's also got just enough of that realism for conspiracy theory Alec to come out and be like, dude, this totally happens. There is no way this doesn't happen somewhere. And you, especially coming out in 2021, this is after, you know, the COVID vaccine has kind of come out. That vaccine that took like 2 months to develop from a disease that apparently nobody heard anything about. And so I'm thinking, oh, well, duh, they just stuck some people on a beach in some island, gave them COVID, and then figured out how to solve the cure by aging them artificially so that in one day, 60 years goes by. At least that's how my brain was working.
Yeah, fair.
Like,
that's fair.
Makes sense, obviously. So
yeah,
when we had a chance to put thriller category into here, old came up, and 100% I was going to put this one in there. What about you? What do you think of this movie?
You know what? Honestly, this is funny. This is the first time I'd seen this movie.
Oh.
So I did want it on the podcast back in 2021. But it got vetoed because Javier. He was like, not one. Well, okay, so it was Mattson and Javier because Mattson hates M. Night Shyamalan for the most part. And Javier loves anything that might even or hates anything that might even remotely be scary. So he was like, "No, I'm out." So we ended up not doing it. And so when we didn't do it, I was like, I'm not going to go see it. We were seeing too many movies at the time, and like it was just like, I'm not going to go see this movie because M. Night Shyamalan, like I said, for me is very hit and miss, and so he'd been a lot heavy miss lately. So I was like, good. But. So when I watched this, like I was like pleasantly surprised. In fact, I think I disagree. I think this is a hit for him, and I think, and so we'll talk about it. But I think, I mean, I have some issues with it, given it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie and some of the things that he does. But like, this movie made my skin crawl, dude. Like, and that's not necessarily easy to do. But I was uncomfortable.
You're a tough son of a bitch.
I was uncomfortable for 90% of this movie, like just uncomfortable. And so, I think they did really, really well with it, and I really enjoyed it more than I maybe it's partially because I went in with very low expectations because I hadn't even heard much about it either.
There's
like,
not a lot out there about it.
Yeah.
It was like the hot shit for 6 days.
Yeah.
After it was announced, it aired and then it left theaters.
Because
it's also a summer movie, and 2021 I think is where we're starting to get back into the summer MCU steamroll train coming. Of 4 or 5 Marvel movies coming out back to back to back.
Probably that was our. Wow, it had to have been because that was our second year of the podcast technically. So that would have been,
Cool. So let's talk red flags with this storyline. If you travel abroad, don't leave your passport with anybody.
Never. And don't leave it locked up in your hotel room.
Don't leave it locked up in the hotel room. Don't do that. Keep that on you. In a fanny pack or something with a zipper that can be secured under a jacket or another article of clothing. Like, don't leave that places, man.
Yeah.
That was my first clue, right? That, they're not coming back. Like, this is one giant trap.
Yeah.
Your driver says, did you make sure you left your passports all in your very secure hotel room safe?
Yeah.
Like,
shady shit.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, it's definitely there. No, that's attached to me. Good luck trying to get that off me.
Yeah, you have to pry that from my cold, dead, old ass fingers, dude. Like,
right? That's my ticket back.
Yeah, you ain't going nowhere with that shit. So
yeah, I'm not.
At best, you're going to the embassy, which, if this is some unknown island,
which it sounds like it has very little oversight.
It doesn't sound like the island itself would have an embassy on it. Like, so you're fucked.
Yes.
Yeah. Listen, here's my one problem with this movie is that I found it, other than like the reason why, like the specific reason why of looking for vaccines and like cures for diseases, it was very predictable that like they were there for being studied and watched. And even if it was just one guy, right? Like creepy M. Night Shyamalan delivering them to the island and then with his camera and watching it, like it was very predictable that there was like some purpose behind it. That was my only beef. Like, other than that, like it was intense, man. And like when shit's, and it's right out the gate, like you get out there and boom, dead body. You're like, wait,
what?
Huh? And then all sorts of shit starts going sideways. And I'll tell you what, like when they cut the dude, like when they slice up the dude and his face and like it heals in, I was like, this is what the fuck?
Yeah. What's happening?
Yeah. And then Rufus Sewell, dude. Oh,
so good.
My God. And we've talked about him a few times. I love Rufus Sewell, but he killed it in this as the schizophrenic doctor that's trying to hide it, and it's getting advanced and crazy. I was like, ooh. At first I thought maybe it was Alzheimer's because he was doing the whole, do you remember this movie? But then like, yeah, when they cracked that at the end where it's like his schizophrenia, I was like, oh God, this is wild.
Yeah, it shows you how well he was holding it together.
No shit.
While it's being elevated and turned up the dial. Yeah. I thought it was crazy. Like they did a really good job, in my opinion, of keeping you guessing of what's going to happen. M. Night does a good job of that.
Yeah.
Keeping you guessing what's going to happen and having, once again, like every single moment ties into why. So even at the beginning, they're having breakfast at the resort, they're planning their day, and it's, here's your specific cocktail that we're testing out on you for your specific disease that you have.
Yeah.
And you get a little bit of weird moments like, no, it's your drink. Like, we made this specifically for you based off of your online survey, this or that.
Yeah.
And so it's like, kind of gets you thinking, but at the same time, it's a very innocuous little plot point until you get to the end and they start explaining everything why. And you're like, dang, this is a really well set up operation.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think that's the other thing too. Like, you see all the trinkets, and that was one of the things I remembered from the trailer was all the different things that they find in that little crevasse type thing up by the rocks of all the personal effects of these people. And I was like, that's a fuck ton of shit back there. Like, they've done this a lot. And then like the end of it, not to skip right to the end, but that conversation that they're having post experiment, excuse me, I don't know why I'm yawning so damn much tonight, is really uncomfortable and creepy because like the whole nature thing, like nature's provided this. And then it was like the conversation of, well, we need to split up the psychiatric patients from the I was like, and they're just talking like it's just normal. And I'm like, oh my God, this is wild. Yeah.
It's that contrast too of, we have our main character who escapes, right? He from the hints that he's given, he's able to escape. He comes back. He's old. You're thinking, yes, good guys win. Bad corporate entity loses. And nope. They're just going through their lab data of, trial 41 or whatever it was. Good, bad, good, bad. Like,
yeah.
Let's move on to trial 42. They're getting
they're
getting set up to go out today. And it's just crazy that this entire movie almost is little more than a footnote in the entire experiment and process. Like you said, like, oh, well, nature provided this. We're going to use it for all that it's worth. And these people were going to, succumb to their illness anyway. We're just being kind and expediting the process, and we're gaining, credible amounts of knowledge by doing so. Yeah. And that's the way that a corporate entity is going to look at it and work. It's like, oh yeah, no, the greater good is better served by doing it our way, because you're not suffering for years and years at a time, spending expensive treatments and all that stuff. We're going to get it done within 24 hours.
Yeah.
Or whatever it may be. And it's just the callousness and the uncaring and the real just numbers on a spreadsheet. type of a thing. And, on top of that, it's a little bit diabolical that, it's like, oh yeah, you won the sweepstakes. You get to go to this all paid island resort type of a thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's headhunting going to find people. So it's not like, you signed up for this, right? Or you signed a release form, or you went out searching for this. Hey, I want to do this or be a part of it. It's no, because nobody would, right? So
yeah.
We're going to go out and we're going to offer a big old package deal of this, you won type of a thing. And everybody will say yes to that. And so you have this other marketing side of things. It's just like, it's that, again, I would be a little bit suspicious if everybody had a similar story to mine.
Yeah.
Wait, we all won? I'd be a little bit upset.
Yeah, I'd be like, what? Does anybody not win?
Yeah, exactly. Like, does anybody have to pay for this? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But it all makes sense in the fact that you can test a drug for cancer in 48 hours rather than in 50 years.
Yeah.
Right. And you can make adjustments on the fly in a much quicker time frame. And so the sad part is, in a sadistic way, it makes sense.
Yeah. So the different diseases, because let's go through it. So we had schizophrenia. We had her tumor. We had the brittle bone disease, or the calcium deficiency.
That
part was rough. And then the epilepsy. But that was it, right? Like, it was those 4?
I think so. There wasn't there wasn't a ton that were being tested.
Yeah.
No.
Because that's where I'm like, because even the mother may be the heart condition. They may have given her something for her heart condition. The old lady.
Oh, it was MS.
Oh, MS, right. That blonde, the original.
And then blood clot was another one.
Blood clot. Who had the blood clotting issue? The black guy. The guy that was, that's right.
That was a little weird one, because that also, so that part did confuse me, where there's people that haven't completed their trial yet. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
That are still chilling. Yeah. But he also seemed like, it was a weird thing, because it seemed like he was aging slower than everybody else.
Yeah.
Or, the timing doesn't exactly make sense to me, where he should be looking a lot older based on how long he's been there.
Yeah.
Type of a thing. So that was a little confusing.
Yeah.
But that's also kind of a very M. Night thing.
Yeah. Well, they never actually showed him.
Yeah.
Until he came out, and because it was at night when she got in the water, all naked. So I'm with you on that. I didn't even think about the fact, because I got so into it after everybody else that I forgot. Like, that doesn't add up quite well, that he's still as young as he is. And the hemophilia thing, like, as far as I know, and I know very little. I have a friend that's a hemophiliac, but I don't talk to him much about it. But, like, there's certain drugs, like, you can't take, and there's certain and like, there's things that, like, I've talked about going and doing stuff, and he's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, I'm a hemophiliac, dude. I was like, oh, okay, I got you. But, like, when he starts bleeding out of his nose, I'm just like, that would never stop, is my understanding. Yeah. Like, based on what this dude tells me, like, he would have bled out long before they got there if he had gotten some injury. Now, the healing makes a difference, but then the internal bleeding wouldn't have stopped. Like, the little skin scratch, that's fine. But if he's bleeding out of his nose, there's an internal bleed somewhere. And from my understanding, like, that just wouldn't stop, because a bloody nose stops when your blood clots and then dries out. And that doesn't happen for hemophilia. Anyway, so I don't know. There's some little weird things there now that you mentioned that one that I didn't really think about. But the part that gets me, and the part that made me so uncomfortable, is like, and here's the twisted part about me, like, I can see from a certain point of view the positives to this testing. You know what I mean? What I can't see, though, is letting their children who are perfectly healthy,
or at least unknown conditions,
correct, like going and just sacrificing these kids in the sake of science. Now, I'm sure there's worse things or just as vile things that have been done in the name of science, certainly in religion and many other reasons. But like that made me so uncomfortable. I'm like, oh, and they're just fine with it. Like there's not even a mention of it. He was pissed that the schizophrenic almost fucked up their trial and did mess up the trial for the hemophiliac by killing him.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not a peep about the two children who grow to 50 years old and apparently drown trying to escape. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
100% agree with you.
Yeah.
The other part that made me a little bit mad is the one lady with the tumor.
Yeah.
Whose drug worked.
Yeah.
Successful trial. They're still leaving her ass there.
Yeah.
Just in case it comes back, it's not effective over time, blah, 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 blah. And they're still going to test that particular, cocktail again.
Yeah.
And probably again and again and again, even though you had that one successful test, that doesn't necessarily prove anything. You got to keep going.
Yeah.
And so it was like that also got to me because like she once figured out everything out. It's like, oh, well, she was fine.
Yeah.
Like, she's cured. Get her out of there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your test trial is done.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Here's a cash settlement. Don't forget you ever came here type of
yeah.
And off you go.
And they party with like they're having some sort of like champagne party because of the freaking epileptic was cured.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, so go get her. And obviously she wasn't cured because she has a ton of them at the end of the whole thing. But like I get their point. They're like, technically she went 16 years without a single seizure. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what makes it, to your point earlier, what makes it even more fucked up is the reality basis, right? Like
it's not a stretch to see this.
There's a drug company that would do this.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like there's probably a few.
Several. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the edge. It would be the edge over your competitor is what it would be.
Yep. And the amount of money.
Oh. If Johnson & Johnson found a little island like this, dude, they're putting up walls. Mm-hmm. They're getting a nice little agreement placed out, and 100% they're giving away sweepstakes.
Oh, yeah.
Because the all expenses, $50,000 trip, there's nothing compared to, oh, yeah, no, we have a 100% secure, 100% no fail cure for pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
We did it in 3 months.
Yeah. The billions roll in.
Yes.
Yeah. 50,000 to drop in the bucket. 10,000. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Although, that's wild. It's so gross. But that's what makes the movie effective, in my opinion, is the fact that you can
easily see it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's rough.
It's crazy. Yeah. So I'll get to the part where I said this was a little bit mid for me.
Sure.
And I think you touched on a little bit with your expectations.
Mm-hmm.
For as good as the whole kind of plot thickening is, for me, this isn't like, Sixth Sense. Right?
Sure.
Where it's just like mind blown, oh my gosh, type of a thing. The payoff didn't hit for me as heavy as that, we'll say.
Yeah.
So I look back and it's like, dude, you had an A+ freaking lead up. Your storytelling is great. Mm-hmm. Your punchline, your payoff, B-.
Yeah.
Right. Still good.
Sure.
But it's like, those drawings where people do where they like show different stages of like a horse and the horse really good, and then you get to the end of the horse and it's like something I would draw.
Yep.
It's almost like that for me. Except going in the reverse order, right? You're drawing so great, and then you just get to the end, and it's just like you draw a very typical smiley face, right? You draw the dubby smiley face on the horse as a way to tie it all together. And so it's almost I'll say a letdown in many ways, because I'm like, oh, that's it. Like that, like I can see this happening. That's realistic. I feel it. I understand it, but I'm not going with the oh my gosh type of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
When the lead up to it, like I would almost cut this even earlier to just where, because you have this kind of lead up where he remembers the note his buddy gave him, right, that he meant about the coral, and he sees the coral and he kind of puts two and two together. And I almost would have left it on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Like have him get out of the coral and get onto, the shore at a different spot, and then cut it.
Yeah.
Because that is the oh my gosh type of a moment that I was at. And then, having the spinning where it's like, oh yeah, this is just a corporate retreat essentially where they're testing all these different drugs. So I was like, oh yeah, no, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Very, very not like supernatural, oh my gosh type of a thing. It's more of a, oh yeah, no, okay, yeah, I see that happen. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I'm all on board. This definitely is happening somewhere.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think for me, what pushed it so high is the middle part, like the intensity of the whole thing, like trying to figure out, like, they're aging, things like that. But like you have these moments like the pregnancy stuff. Oh my God. Like it's just brutal. And then the end, like you said, with the brittle bone, like where she's like, she looks just twisted because it's all healing. Like it was so bad. So there's just and then like everybody's every time they show Rufus Sewell, you're like, well, who's he gonna fucking murk now? You know what I mean?
He's got that look.
Yeah. So it's like there was so much intensity, but I'm with you. I like the idea of, I would have liked to have him show like up to the point that the blonde, which also there was some weirdness at the end there too. Like when they get back to the hotel and like the blonde waitress, when she realizes what's like, it almost looks like she's like full panic attack, but she knows what's happening. So why is this, like 10 minutes ago, she was in the lab, didn't give a shit. Like why all of a sudden does she seem like she's all traumatized? Maybe because she had to see the work instead of just hearing about it. I don't know. That separation can make things a little easier sometimes in situations like that. But that bothered me, but I would have loved to have seen, like, you just see the two of them step into the hotel. Cause I also hate that they went to the cops. Cause I'm sorry, dude, you do that shit to me, you're not going, I'm not going to the cops. I'm fucking murdering everybody. You know what I mean? Like I'm telling every guest, you need to leave now. And then
take your passport with you.
Yeah. Anybody that works there, you're done. What do I care? You just took 50 years of my life. What do I care? What do I care?
That's a good point, because where my mind went as well, and this is just a me thing, I 100% know, is because they gave me too much at the end. I started thinking, man, this dude doesn't have no job experience, doesn't know anything, how to do anything. He just went from being 10 to 50 years old in a single day.
Yeah.
Like, what is he gonna do when he gets back? Good luck on trying to get back on your passport, by the way. Yeah. They are never gonna fall for that. Nope. In 100 years. And so it's like, what do you do at that point? And so that's where my mind was going. I'm like, man, he doesn't have a driver's license. He doesn't have
oh, I thought the same thing.
Any work experience, doesn't know what
no skills.
Yeah, no skills. But he's being dropped off, or now he's 50. Like, yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, and I guess they're taking him to his aunt's house. Like, how would you feel if a 50-year-old man called and said, "Your 6-year-old nephew"? I get that was like trying to be resolution of, oh, the aunt's gonna take care of him, but at the same time, like, yeah, like I said,
that's weird.
And I understand too that I get that there's still, I don't know, it's twofold, because another thing that bothered me is I get to the end and it's like they want me to still look at them as a 6 and 11-year-old. But there were these moments throughout where they're like, my mind is changing and I'm having all these thoughts. And then you have at the end, that level of maturity starts to show that that neurologically there's been some changes that have happened over time as well, and they've had to deal with happiness and trauma just in a very hurried. But you can't lead me to believe in one moment that they're neurologically changing at a pace that's much more rapid and adapting to adulthood in some levels, and then turn around to me and then want me to feel like they're still 6 and 11 at the end of the movie. Like, you can't have it both ways. I'm okay if neurologically we see and they play it as if they're still a 6 and 11-year-old for the most part that have now just been through some serious trauma. Now, you run into a bunch of issues with that. If they're still 6 and 11, they're probably not going to figure out the choral. They're not going to figure out a lot of things because you need that higher level mentality, even though they still portray this 6-year-old as somewhat level of, like, I wanted to say he was kind of on the spectrum, or he's a genius on some level with the codes and remembering people's names. At the very least, he's got some sort of, perfect memory, but for photographic memory. But anyway, like, it's just, there's a lot of things trying to explain away the fact that I go, is he still 6 mentally? Yeah, or is he an adult mentally? Because you can't do both. You can't have both and have it be effective. So that was one of the things that, because I thought the same too, like, all through they show them maturing at a more rapid pace. Now, obviously there's still some childlike things that are going through it, but by the end, they don't act like children. You know what I mean? In any way, shape, or form that we see. And then at the same time, like, we have this innocence when they come back of, well, I'm going to run to a police officer and I'm going to call my aunt, and, but then immediately follow it with the maturity of understanding why she's, like, fucked up because the whole situation. Like I said, I would have rather him just matured, and this guy goes, well, you just took 44 years of my life away. I'm going to fucking burn this joint to the ground. Like, anyway, that's what I want. Like, and again, I don't need to see it, but let me have that.
Well, it's that moment.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and I keep talking about the Sixth Sense, but it's that moment when you learn what's happening, then you see everything, and then it stops.
Yeah.
Right. There's not this added bit. And so that's the things, like, there's just too much at the end of this, and a little bit of not knowing exactly what direction you're going to go. But it's like, that's what's like, cut it sooner. Because if you're not going to show, like, this big kind of mic drop moment, or you're going to have your mic drop moment earlier, you're going to miss out on what M. Night's really big thing is, which is this impossible twist that just flips a switch. You go, oh my gosh. Yeah. And then it creates a little bit of that rewatchability, because as you go through, you see every single, connecting of the dot. But this, like, we're talking about, like, well, why are we at this point? Like, where are we going? How did we get there? And it's very much not what you expect with when M. Night hits. It's just like, oh my gosh, cinematic gold. Yeah. Because he does such a great job when he does such a great job. And so it's like there's almost just too much at the ending. You're almost there.
Yep. That's fair. Well, and it slows down bad at the end too. Yeah. Like, the whole thing, played well. It's super fast, and then we get to the end, and it's like drags a little bit, and I'm like, So I'm with you. Like, they could have ended it on a cliffhanger, and I would have been perfectly happy with that.
Because that's almost like the expectation, right? That you're with M. Night, you're not going to get the story that you necessarily want. You're going to get the story he's going to tell you. Yeah. And this almost felt like trying to give the ending that everybody wanted, that little bit of a happy ending, but adding the realism factor or this or that. And for me, it's just like, oh, you're just too noisy there at the end. Because even having that slow down of, like, the acceptance of we're gonna die here. Yeah. Like, we're the last two people here type of thing. And then you get a little bit kick where it's like the choral. Oh my gosh, give it a shot. Why not? Yeah. And then you still have 25 minutes of movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just, for me, I was watching this, like, okay, now we're dragging. I'm starting to think about this dude and what he's going to do after he gets back to the mainland or whatever it is, and what's next on his agenda. And I pulled out of the movie. Yeah. Now I'm like, dude, the IRS is going to come for him. and want to know what happened to 44 years of taxes.
No shit. Not to mention that dude's going to end up in a lab somewhere. Those two are just to get studied and ugh. Well, and then at the end they're on that chopper and they're flying towards the island. I'm like, why are you going? Don't. What's going to happen when you all pass the fuck out? Like, don't do that. So then they turn around. I was like, oh God, okay. And then I was like, for a second too, because what else would have been cool is when they pull up that helicopter. Like, I was waiting for it to be like some sort of chopper that had some missiles or some shit, and they were gonna blow up the wall. I'm like, get it, but no, they left it standing. I was like, why? Somebody else is gonna do this shit. If you leave it there, like, fuck. Anyway, should we rate it?
Let's do it.
All right, boss, you first.
My movie, I go first.
Yep.
I'm gonna give it 3.5. I think it's good. I think it tells a compelling story. I like the realism factor. It's just like I mentioned a couple times, it's missing that little bit of, or it does a little bit too much. And so as a whole, when I look at it, I'm like, it's enjoyable. I like it, but it's not a perfect movie. It's not even perfect M. Night. So that's why I was like, this is what I see as almost a mid one, because he was there. He had everything. Mm-hmm. He just went a little bit too far, in my opinion. I'll give it 3.5. And I can see myself occasionally sitting down to watch this, but it's such a heavy, intense movie that it's not like, oh, I'll just put this on as background noise.
Yeah.
It's not that type of movie. But yeah, 3.5 for me.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 4. I think what happens in the middle of this movie to me is good enough that I can forgive the parts that I'm like, at the end. It's funny because to be a comparative person for a minute, like my least favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie is The Village. Mm-hmm. And that's because I figured it out too fast. And then the middle of the movie wasn't very good. Like the twist is really good on that movie. Like it's cool. Like even though I figured it out early, that's not anybody else's fault. I just figured it out. But the middle of the movie's not very good. Like I'm just like, I'm bored. Like that was, and even Casey and a couple of friends are like, yeah, it's just boring. Like it just wasn't that same. This is not boring. Like this movie is, whoa, like it is rough. Like it is edge of the seat shit because you're like, oh God, what awful thing is going to happen to these people next? And you just can't, it's like a fucking car wreck. Like you just can't stop looking at it. And yet it's played in such a way that in between these moments of trauma, there's some very good dialogue and very good like you see almost the human experience in fast forward, right? And they do it very well in this movie to where you start to see the life lessons and the forgiveness and the, the anger and the, like all these things that we all kind of go through. You see it in this 2-hour format, right? And it was very well done. And then they have to have the twist, but to your point, like they just drug it out too long. Like if they had left it real short, even if they didn't leave it on a cliffhanger, if they give us everything that they gave us, but they gave it to us fast, instead of like the whole, we get the scene where they're doing it and then he goes and says, you're a cop, and then cut to black. And instead of like them going through the motions of the next group of people, it's just everybody's being hauled away, right? And then they're on the helicopter. That would have made a much bigger difference for me than 20 minutes of like, okay, wrap it up. Like you're just diminishing everything that I just went through for an hour and 30 minutes with these people. And so anyway, like that's my big thing, but I forgive a lot of it because fuck, I was uncomfortable for an hour and a half. Like I was like, I want to see what's coming next, but I don't. Like, stop it. But so yeah, 4 for me. And I would not actively seek this movie out. Like it's a hard watch in a lot of places, but I would watch it with someone that had never seen it before to watch the discomfort and the, the expectation and the realization and all that stuff go through. Like I enjoy watching people's experience like that. So I would watch it with someone that had never seen it before. So there it is. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Alec, tell everybody where they can find us when we're not trying to reverse time.
Happy to, JJ. Best place to find us is on YouTube, where you can see our smiling faces as we discuss your favorite and our least favorite movies. or sometimes the reverse of that, our favorite, your least favorite, whichever you prefer. YouTube's the best place to find us there. You can see us, interact with us, leave us a comment, leave us a like if you enjoyed the content. Best place to get involved with the podcast, however, is on Patreon at What's Our Verdict Reviews. We have this thing going back and forth where we are competing now, and if your movie gets picked or not picked, there are real world consequences, including lists of movies that we don't want to see. I have a list. JJ has a list. They go up if we lose too many votes in a row. So JJ's list is up now because he lost March. You can go make him watch a movie that I selected that he will not want to watch. If I lose, my list goes up. You get the picture. But on Patreon, behind a little bit of a paywall, is more than 700 extra bonus content episodes. Everything from bloopers and outtakes all the way up to movies that nobody should watch that we did, so you don't have to. But you don't have to pay to be involved in the Patreon. We do have our votes going out. Those are absolutely free on Patreon. So if you want to get involved, voting on topics, voting on movies that we put out, that is the best place to get involved with the actual podcast content. Also, I'll reiterate, we are partnering with Dubby for energy supplement. Is that the right word for that? Energy powder drink, energy supplement, something of that nature. But it is powder, scoop in, throw it in a drink, and it gives you energy throughout the day. So 10% off of your order if you use the code RVerdict right down there at the bottom. And with that, I'll kick it back to the Colossus of Clout, the Titan of Terror, a JJ.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, there it is.
All right.
It's been a fun one. And as always, we appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Cinemagic out.
Whoa!